I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or duder or, you know, El Duderino.
Welcome back, Slotcar family, on another video on Slotcar Dude. Today is gonna be a very uncommon video, let's put it that way. I refer to a comment, it's quite a while ago, from Harry from Latvia. Harry, all the best. Who mentioned that I only do reviews with nice running cars, no problem causers, no trouble cars. So I took his words, so to say, because I remember I still had a car that was running not well at all. I'm going to show you, of course, what I did to it. I'm going to give you a first glimpse. Here it is. It's an Alfa Romeo. Quite good looking car. I bought it used. That's why you can see there is already some glue on the glass, some fog, glue fog on the glass. I will try and polish that out, try and get rid of it the best I can. And it was on a chassis that I thought looked good. I would set it up like I always do it, very basic, not to change much at all, if possible. I only wanted to add weight and see how it goes. I took it to the track and it was a disaster all over. I hate to say that. So, what to do? I put it aside. I didn't want to, it was so bad, I didn't really want to waste a thought on it when I got back from the track. I did some video shooting on that, but I deleted it because I didn't know what to tell you about this car, because it was a nightmare. So, but giving good advice to others, I'm really good at that. Sorry, forgive me that. Made me think, hey, you just gave some advice to a fellow club member. You could do the same, and that's what I did with this car. Which is, I searched the internet for a 3D printed chassis as a replacement chassis, because I think the main problem was, or is, the chassis on this car. I'm going to take you with me on this ride. I'm going to show you what I got, what I did, what I changed, what are the parts, bits, pieces that I used. And of course we're going to take it to the track, and hopefully this time the result will be better, and I'll be able, or I want to show it to you. So here we go.
Slotcar family, here we've got our verdict, so to say, still in its original condition with the original rims on it, on the original chassis. This is how you receive the Giulia GTA. The reason why I got this car was the looks, I have to admit, plus I always wanted to have this car as an old-timer in 1:1. So far, nope, I can only afford the 1:32 scale. But having a closer look at the bodywork, paint job, decals, it seemed that they overdid the spraying with the paint a little, personal opinion. But still, it looked good. I like it, the way it looks. And again, that's the reason why I got it. It's even got a little interior with a driver, a small roll bar, small cockpit. All good, all looking very good. Let's take a look on the chassis, on the original chassis. This is how it is delivered. And one thing I noticed while looking at it a little closer was one of the rear rims had already quite a crack when I received it. This is something that can be fixed. You use glue, so didn't seem too much of a problem. Seen that being there, no problem. But when looking even closer, the paint job, my first impression did prove me right. If you look down there, it seems a little, I don't know, like crusty. But onto the chassis. This is how I did the original setup on the original chassis. This is where I put weight to make it a little more stable on the track. Everything looked quite okay to me. No big deals, straight chassis, no need to straighten it out. But one thing I saw is the front axle, how it is put into the chassis. It's like the old Fly chassis setup, which I'm absolutely no friend of, to be honest. And it proved me right on track. So I got this 3D printed chassis with all the parts that you need to go with it. I'm coming to those parts in the back with the screws in a second. You can find all sorts of 3D printed chassis on the internet. You just put in the Team Slot Alfa Romeo 3D printed chassis and you get all the different producers. But what do you need to set it up? Of course, all the parts, bits and pieces, like, I don't know, a guide, rims, tires, axles, bushings, a gear for front and back axle, so to say. My first choice was the motor you see, this NSR. Changed that because I thought I'll start off softer. Again, a small comparison here is the original chassis screwed in onto the body. And here is the 3D printed chassis. You see a lot less material, more easy to set up a float than with the original chassis. And here we go. This is already my rear axle setup. And now you see why there are those small bits in a bag with the screws. They are to fix the bushings on the rear axle. So you screw that holder down. If you notice on the rear axle, the 4 screws, that's where you screw down and hold down your rear bushings. I changed to a little easier going motor with a 19.5K motor. We'll see how it goes. The front axle was, of course, nice to set up with 2 screws, one from the bottom and one from the top on each side to adjust the axle height and the chassis height. And while doing that, I noticed that the chassis, not the interior, the cockpit, didn't match with my gear. So I just cut it in half, as you can see here, to fit in the new chassis and the new rear axle plus gear. And this is the first test fit, which looked quite good to me. I mean, those staff wheels are just looking great on this car, if you ask me. Personal opinion. I used no friction front tires. I think they're from NSR, as far as I can remember. And the rear rubber is, I think it's a low profile from Avant Slot. I haven't tested those yet on track. I'm really looking forward to see what they look like. Now, this is something I also wanted to show you. This is the original tire, or the original setup that I did, put on this test bed. And this is what it looks like after grinding and truing the tires. If you look back, you see how much the chassis wobbles and how smooth it is running afterwards. So this is to show you what tire truing is all about. Now, for the final setup, then I noticed that the holes, the fixing holes on the chassis, did not fit 100% the posts of the body. So I came up with only using 3 screws instead of 4 to fix the chassis to the body, which is okay. And you can even increase the body float that way quite a lot, but you have to adjust it, of course. And again, check out how smooth it is running after a second go of tire truing. The wobble you see still a little, but the movement on the body, that's normal and that's standard. But again, this is what causes huge differences on track. Believe me, tested that, been there, done that. Tire truing does help smoothing out the chassis a lot. So let's go to the track. So here we are at the track already. I've chosen the wood track to test this beauty, and I can tell you it was absolutely fantastic. The car weighs 85 kilos, 85 grams now. No weight added at all. All there is just the motor and the 3D printed chassis with the new parts. And here you can see from the driver's stand, still quite tail happy, not that easy to drive on the routed track, but I'm sure it will be a blast on the plastic track, that's for sure. Plus, I haven't added anything to the tires yet, so they're still just off the tire truer onto the track. That was it. Cleaned, of course, but you can see still a little tail happy. But again, it was just really, really nice to drive. Not that easy, I have to admit, but again, all the investment paid off. I can tell you that much. So this is what it looks like if you just take the body and pimp the chassis. Yes, Slotcar family, this was it. Thank you very much again for stopping by. Thanks to all my subscribers for coming back video after video, leaving comments. Very highly appreciated. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to press that like button. Don't forget to press that cowbell to subscribe to be notified when new videos are coming out. There will be a few within the next weeks, that's for sure. There are a few in the pipeline already. So stay with me. And as always with Slotcar Dude, there's more to come.